Hello my dear friends, so today we're back to discussing The Bad Batch. My full breakdown of the 5th episode of Season 3 The Return has been out for a couple of days, and after covering the latest live action news in yesterday's video, we're now returning to the final season of the beloved animated show. StarWars.com, as they've been doing for every single episode so far, have posted the full episode guide. There are some interesting nuggets and tidbits, but we'll get to those in just a moment. But while I spent a lot of time analysing Crosshair's interactions with Hunter, we really need to talk about Echo, and a couple of hints based on things he's told us, and a handful of theories trying to answer a massive question: how is the Batch going to find Tantiss? Let's go through point by point what we know so far. The new episode guide has confirmed that just before coming to Pabu, Echo was on a mission with Rex, and he took the Remora, a ship we saw in Season 2, and after arriving on Pabu and reuniting with the Batch, Echo mentions he's been looking for Tantiss for some time, and it goes without saying that in his pursuit with Rex to save surviving clones, they realised many are being shipped off to this mysterious facility. But thanks to getting Nalase's datapad back online, and thanks to the first-hand testimonies from Omega and Crosshair, Echo now knows the sheer quantity of clone subjects being sent to Hemlock's facility, and he's been made aware of the medical experimentation. In addition, Hunter and Wrecker know the vague sector that Wayland is in, but nothing more. But nonetheless, Echo seems confident they're one step closer to finding Tantiss and rescuing other clones. That's the reason he's so invested. But fans are wondering, now that Tech is gone, how are they genuinely gonna find it? For one thing, they seem to think Tantiss is the name of the planet. Tantiss is the mountain facility, but the planet is Wayland, which first appeared in the pages of Timothy Zahn's Expanded Universe Thrawn trilogy, but thanks to the Season 1 finale episode guide, it's canon now too. And yet the name Wayland is never mentioned. They always say Tantiss. This could be deliberate, and may lead them to looking for the wrong place. Just some food for thought. So how are they going to find it? Well, in reality, there are many options. We don't know which one they're going to go for. And at the time of making this video, we just don't know. But here are some popular theories. The first one concerns the clone assassin CX-1, who seems to defect at some point, and in the trailer we see him provide a sinister warning to the Batch. Maybe he has intel from a crashed ship, and given Captain Rex is set to appear soon, I think he's the one who's going to help him defect. Our next theory is one which I really don't like, but I'm going to suggest it nonetheless. You never know. This is the theory, and again, really don't like it, that the way Echo mentioned Tech is foreshadowing his return and survival. I really don't like this. It undermines his arc, but it's a fan theory nonetheless. Yet another theory states, intel from a friend or an ally like Fijanoa could come in handy. And now for the theories, which make the most sense. The first one is that this is how Asajj Ventress comes into Season 3. Maybe at first she's their adversary. After reviving from the dead on Dathomir, maybe now she's a bounty hunter again. We have no idea the circumstances she's going to appear under, but she might be the key. Another possibility, the Batch breaking Admiral Rampart out of prison, if he's not been killed. I can't imagine he's too happy with the Emperor, and even if he's still a bad guy, I can see him undercutting Hemlock and ruining Palpatine's precious cloning projects, sabotaging him in any possible way, and in return, the Batch promising to free him. Even though the voice actor for Rampart kind of teased he's not in this season, there is a bit of evidence he's playing coy, and we are returning to Coruscant later in the season, so who knows? As I say, my dear friends, all of these are just a bit of fun speculation. We'll find out the real answer in due time. Patience, as Obi-Wan would say. That being said, great news for Wednesday, we get a double feature, Episode 6 Infiltration and Episode 7 Extraction. While some fans have suggested this could be an instant return to Tantiss, I don't think so. This sounds like the invasion, occupation, and infiltration of Pabu. Camino is lost, they were kicked off Old Mantell, and now Pabu. Where are they going to go next? Well, if the title of Episode 8 is anything to go by on March 20th, a bad territory. So some pretty daring stuff to come. And so let's go back to the episode guide and check out some of these brand new tidbits. As we spoke about in my breakdown, this episode was kind of a sequel to Season 2's The Outpost episode. We returned to Barton 4. This next piece of concept art is some of my favourite, the two main outfits that Omega wore in the episode. They say this: Omega has two new looks, her comfortable knit sweater vest, and we see she's got a Pabu necklace, probably given to her by her friends Shep, and Lyanna, as well as her cold weather look, which is her coat, the hat, the belt, during her time on Barton 4. And one thing about Omega I've not really spoken about in a very long time, but something that was discussed in great depth after the first and second seasons, is how she's being set up in animation for a bigger role in live action or another show. Now, Michelle Lang did shed some doubt on this when she said that Star Wars was originally going in that direction with the character, but now something's changed, and that planted the seeds in our minds that she might die, but instead of death, they might leave it open-ended, giving a very uncertain fate, leaving it open-ended before they decide what they want to do when they re-explore the character later down the line. But while we're on the subject of outfits, if she does live beyond Season 3, is she going to take on Hunter's bandana or armour similar to his? As someone who really enjoyed Omega's character from the word go, it's sad that it's coming to an end, even if she does make it out alive, because this animated series Clone Wars spin-off has been some of the best storytelling of the era under Disney. Hands down, one of the best. Another really interesting piece of world building from this new episode guide is the fact the reason we didn't see ice worms on Barton 4 in Season 2 is because that episode took place during the winter on the ice world, and that is a time when these worms don't come out, whereas the new episode in Season 3 was probably the spring, warmer weather, and we got to see the creature in its full glory. And here's a look at the entire body of the ice worm from head to tip. Enormous onyx-type creatures. Really cool. The attention to detail in this episode was insane. There is even entire concept art for very specific aspects like the fruit, the food Wrecker was eating at the table, the data pad. One of my absolute favourite stills from the episode, which is shared by StarWars.com, is when Hunter underestimates Omega out of fear. Out of a sense of fatherly protection, he wants her to stay behind, but she stands up for herself, insisting she needs to go. She didn't want to separate from her brothers just as they were back together. She's talented in and of herself. She was essential to the mission. I know they're siblings, but it really is a father-daughter dynamic between Hunter and Omega. But with that said, my dear friends, share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below. How do you think the Bad Batch is going to find Wayland and Mount Tantiss? And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.